Hello YouTube fans, here again. And I figure why not do this one. That being, when it comes to my own marathon, that being The Link. Now in 82 in America, it was also had two different cycles. In the UK, it was called The Link, and in America, it was called Bloodlink, done by Medusa. These were the days when Medusa had the snakes on her head. Do you remember the golden days of the VHS? And this one, not a lot of people talk about this one, but I think it's an underestimated film. It's one of my favourite actors who appeared in The Stuff and also appeared in True Ring Serpent, the film I reviewed yesterday. He also appeared playing Harry Potter's father, not the Harry Potter the films, in Troll, very good fantasy sort of film. I remember talking about it once. So yeah, this is called The Link. The same actor played two different characters. He played a doctor that saved lives, and he also played a psychopath that took lives. So that was quite an interesting turn for this actor. So at first, you get a bit of classical music. It plays all the way through the film. I may add, it goes do 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 do. I'm not going to do the rest because I'll probably kill it myself. And you start off with the actor, like I say, he plays two different characters in this because he plays a twin brother. And he's dancing with this woman. He's got ideas he's older than him, and people think they make a nice couple. And he's dancing, and this weird thing happens, and you got the idea he stabs her in the back with a knife. And we see the after shots, and you see him sneaking out with this sort of like really no posh, Snoopy sort of restaurant sort of place. And then you see him again, you're thinking, what's going on here? But it's not him. It's his brother, the one who's the doctor. He has this weird taste. I mean, he puts jam in coffee, raspberry jam, and everyone started doing that. Not a bad taste, but definitely a weird taste. So I wouldn't recommend it. But that's how he has his coffee. He has raspberry jam in a coffee. And it's with this dude. We've got an idea they're sort of like dating and sort of not. And he's a doctor, you know what I mean? He's saving lives. Long but old, he starts to see visions of these murders. So he doesn't get what's happening. But he figures out because he sees his nan. And his nan sort of explains to him that he had a long lost twin brother. I'd say this is more of a thriller than an horror movie, but it does have its horror moments. It is a good performance by this actor. Very interesting because he always plays a good guy. It's interesting to see him play two different roles, a psychopath and a good guy. He kills one guy. You've seen his acting before. He's been in a lot, and I mean a lot of films. He was in the original Two Bot Murders. He's been in a lot of Bonanza. He's been in a lot of stuff. And you've got the idea he's playing a character, he's got a V car, and he's wanting to be a wrestler. I'm not sure if he's a wrestler or a boxer or one or the other. And it's like a thingy boxer. And the evil one, the evil buffer, tires him out, weakens him, and you've got the idea he gives him an heart attack and he beats him to death. It's like a vicious scene. And the daughter of the father goes after him, the cycle that is. Long but old, she makes the mistake of making the dud one. That's when he finds out that his brother's alive, like I said, and he knows now the evil one. He has to slap up his woman, hoping the brother comes to the rescue, but she doesn't get killed the one he's slapping around. She just gets killed later on in the film. And you got the idea that the sort of brotherly bond. I've got to admit, the two-way film is not that bad. For a cheaper budget film, it's pretty good in the two-way film footage. But he knows, and there's a set scene with the girl whose father got killed, but then he fixes that around. He knocks his brother out with these drugs. That vicious scene, he sort of, you get that idea, he rapes that girl and he stabs her to death. That brutal, that vicious scene, and he sets his brother up. Then the girl who he fought later on, who's slapping around, she wasn't as lucky, she gets stabbed halfway through the film. And the female nurse goes to try and save him because he's set up. It's not a funny scene. She meets him in the park. fucking park of all places. To go in these woods, he strips naked. You think he's gonna rape her, she literally shags him stupid. She gets a knife, stabs the evil one, and he's dead. And I always thought it would have been a better scene. Would have been a better scene had the brother and brother had a fight and he killed him rather than having her ride him like a fucking stallion, turns the table and stabs him. That's how I see it. But he's got the idea, he comes in, he visits his brother, he has this weird nightmare. The brother gets him and locks him in one of them places. You know them places where they do autopsies. He locks him in that. But then he for some reason he stood there. He's about to have it away with his woman. She's having fast bats all the time. She's having a one bang fanging man. And she's got this psychic ability of thinking, well, what if the evil ones possessed him? And he strips her off, and it ends like that. You've got annoying classical music again. End of fucking movie. But the link, it's not a bad one. It's more psychological. I wouldn't say it's gruesome, except for the scene where the dude gets stabbed to death. But it's definitely fine when it wants to be. It's definitely chilling, it's disturbing, but it is a very well made film. Very well made film. Again, done by Medusa, well known company in that era. And it definitely brings memories back to me back in the early 80s. I remember reviewing it before, and I didn't really think I did a good job back then, so it's just good to go back to this. And it's like I say, it's good to see this actor play two roles. He's playing a psycho and he's playing a good guy. And it's one of these sort of films, it leaves you thinking, has he killed his brother? Or is she just imagining it? But I thought the ending was a bit antimatter. Okay, it's like nice to see a bonking scene. But then, I mean, for her to stab him, I thought, come on. So basically, she fucking tricked him by shagging him and riding him like a stallion, and the murderer's thinking with his dick. But I do like one fast bat in it. There's a bit in it where he's having a fast bat as a kid, and you got the idea he's killed his mum and his dad. He sees them doing it in the fucking tirades, and he rams a car in them and kills them both. And it's his idea he's a psycho. So I thought it was that interesting little bit. Again, it's psychological. It's suspenseful. I'd say it's more of a thriller than a horror. It's more of a thriller than a horror. But if you're into that psychological stuff, yeah, you can even find it on YouTube. That's how I saw it. I remember back in the day, I remember seeing it in rentable days of video. Very hard to get on DVD. But you can find it on YouTube. The quality's not that great. You can definitely tell it was taken off a video rip. But if you're into that golden era when films are fine and so on, none of this Angie Pangy shit, what you see nowadays, The Link is a good hour of your time. And it's like I say, in America, they called it Blood Link, and in the UK, it was called A Link. But to them people, be smart, be safe, watch some more horror films, and more films on the way. If you like what you see, press that active button and sub. But into them, I'll see you later, and I'll give it a 2-star. It's not great, but it's not bad. I say average. But into them, see you later.